What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Yogabybiola here with the new YouTube video. Welcome back to my channel, fam. As you can see by the title, today we are going to be doing a yoga for self-intimacy sequence. Now, if you're new to yoga and this is your first time practicing, you can definitely continue to practice this sequence. I just will say, continue to take care of yourself and omit anything that feels too strenuous or doesn't feel safe for your body. Now, some of you might be asking, what does self-intimacy mean? The word breaks down into intimacy. So self-intimacy is to begin to allow yourself to actually see in. So to really peer into what your needs are, what your desires are, what your personal boundaries are, what your goals are, really giving yourself an opportunity to explore yourself. Now, if you haven't already, I do talk about self-intimacy a little bit in my abstinence video. If you haven't watched that, where I discuss my period of abstinence, where I really learned self-intimacy and self-sexuality, I highly recommend checking out that video. Also, I do have a yoga just for intimacy video if you want to check that one out as well. There's a gentleman on YouTube who I really enjoy named C.S. Joseph, who actually has a unique video where he details the 4 pillars of intimacy, and I highly recommend you check it out. I'm going to go ahead and link his information down in the comment box, but I'll also share those 4 pillars here today. So the first one, which I kind of discussed, is taking responsibility for meeting your own needs. Now, this is really important because intimacy requires you to be okay with looking at your needs and your desires and then giving yourself the opportunity again to fulfill them, as opposed to putting that responsibility on someone else. Number 2, or pillar number 2 that he suggests, would be personal standards. Now, standards are more internal, really beginning to understand what your personal standards are based on the needs that you yourself have already met in pillar 1. Number 3 would be boundaries, and boundaries are kind of an external version of personal standards. Personal standards are internal, while just boundaries in themselves are more external boundaries that you have for the people around you to make sure that your needs are being met and your personal standards are being upheld. Number 4 would be goals. Now, once you've given yourself the opportunity to take responsibility to meet your own needs, to create your own personal standards and external boundaries, you start to have these desires and things that start to come up, these goals and wants, and really beginning to give yourself permission to expand or reach into those are another way of really beginning to embody self-intimacy. The practice that we're going to be doing here today is going to give you the opportunity to practice not only ownership of your vessel, but possession of your vessel by giving yourself permission to meet your own needs. Today's affirmation goes along with today's practice. I take responsibility for meeting my own needs. The more you rehearse it and begin to give yourself permission to actually embody it, that's how it's going to become a knowing. Throughout this practice, you won't need any props. I always suggest, if you'd like, bringing one yoga block with you, but that's completely optional. If you don't have a yoga block, you can always use a big-ass Harry Potter book, as I always say, an encyclopedia book, or those Nike shoe boxes that we tend to have lying around. Those work wonderfully. I'll see you right back here on the mat in a hot second, y'all. Welcome back, family. We're going to start on our backs, laying down in Shavasana with our knees bent. You can draw your hands onto your belly. You can keep the eyes closed, or you can keep them open if you do have different triggers of trauma or trauma triggers that allow you or cause you to kind of escape your body when you close your eyes. If that's you, keep the eyes open, and we'll start here with some breathing. Take a moment to soften into your breath. Energetically notice what you're feeling here and how you're arriving. yourself permission to really feel what you're feeling here without cutting off ownership of it or pushing it away or calling it something else. Start to move into Ujjayi Pranayama, lengthening the inhalation in through the nostrils and lengthening the exhale out of your nostrils here. Make the breath long and fill up the breath in the chest, and on the exhale, pull the breath down towards the belly. As you continue to lengthen the breath, I want you to continue to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Give yourself permission to notice them and to feel them. And as you move through the practice, as those feelings turn into needs, give yourself permission to respond to your own needs. A few more rounds of breath here, just noticing what you're feeling and allowing it to have its place in your vessel. Begin to give yourself space. Just to be and feel. On the next inhalation, we're going to glide the hands alongside the hips and find a bridge pose, rooting the feet into the earth and picking up the hips. Keeping the hands alongside the body here, pushing the feet into the earth as you lift the hips up to the heavens. Turn on the inner thighs, draw them towards one another and activate the glutes. You have a few more rounds of breath here. Can you lift up through the chest as well? Final breath. Exhale, lower the mid-back, the low back, and the glutes. Relax everything down here, holding for a few rounds of breath. Second set, bridge pose, root the feet, pick up the hips. Turn on the outer glutes, invite the inner thighs together and lift the navel up and in as you open up through the chest. Now from here you're going to find these robot arms carrying the scapula together, rooting the triceps, the backs of the arms into the earth, and lifting the heart here. Make sure you walk the shoulder blades together a little bit here. You'll notice more lift in the chest. Continue to hold. Once again, if you tend to run out of your body or try to escape your body when you close your eyes, keep them open. Stay embodied here. Exhale, lower the mid-back, the low back, and the glutes. You're going to hug the body in here and just rock left and right, releasing the lumbar spine. Now from here, let's bring the feet back to center. Glide the right foot onto the left knee and thread the right arm through the inner thighs. Clasp the front of the left knee for a thread the needle. Relax the head down. Now some of us who have tight hips will notice that our head stays lifted. If that's you, this is a great opportunity to take your block, position it right underneath your head here so you're not having to strain through the neck because the legs are tight and the head and neck won't collapse. So find that restorative modification here. Now if you're having trouble clasping the front of the knees, you can always clasp behind the left thigh. I like to clasp the front of the knees because it deepens the stretch for me, but find what feels safe. And once again, give yourself permission to feel what's coming up here. With the understanding that if we can give ourselves permission to feel what's coming up, as that permeates into a need or transforms into a need, we can also give ourselves permission to meet that need. And in doing so, beginning to cultivate self-intimacy. So if we can begin to actually look into ourselves, feel what we're feeling, we're actually beginning to allow ourselves to express authentically, without trying to manipulate what's coming up. Just allow yourself to see into yourself. One more round of breath here. Exhale, let's root that left foot. Root the right foot, switch sides. Glide the left foot onto the right knee. Thread the needle. We're going to thread our left arm through the inner thighs. Clasp either the back of the right thigh or the front of the knee. Choose your own adventure here. Now, just like we started with Ujjayi, keeping the breath long, I want you to also find that here. So taking space as you cultivate space in the body physically, but taking space energetically. A few more rounds of breath here, waking up that outer hip. Slowly lower the right foot, lower the left foot, and then just roll to your left side. Make your way up to a seated position. And crossing the knees into a tabletop position. Hands and knees, 2 fists worth of space in between the knees. 5 fingers rooted and grounded. Let's extend the right leg back and cross it behind the left ankle. Continue to hold here and carry the hands over to the left and drop the heart. You're going to feel this opening through your right ribs and underneath the right armpit, but also through this left booty. We want to open up that outer left glute, bow over the heart, and once again, cultivate what you're feeling and give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. Let yourself see into you. How can I see what's there? How can I begin to receive it? And then from there, once I receive it, how can I begin to fulfill that need on my own? Whew. Draw the hands back in. I feel that in that left glute. We're going to drop the right knee, switch sides. Cross, or extend the left leg straight back, then cross it out to the right. Keep the toes tucked underneath the feet. You're going to carry the hands over to the right. Keep them long. And then drop the heart in the belly. Opening up through the left side rib. Bowing the head and neck here. One more breath. And let's glide the left knee back, carry the hands back into center. Continue to tuck the toes underneath the feet, walk the hands in, pluck the knees up at the base of your mat. Press the heels down, press the booty up, forward fold at the base of the mat. Hang out here, maybe bending the knees one at a time. Feel the back seams of the body open, feel the calves open, just noticing and feeling. I like to add personal touch here. So you can start to feel the body. Inhale, hands to the shins, halfway lift. Long spine, draw the shoulders away from your ears, and then exhale, fold. Drop the head and neck down here. Inhale, micro bend the knees. Let's circle sweep the hands up and over the head and crown the head. So hands are going to come together in a prayer at the top of the skull. Wake up the crown chakra. And start to come to a space of receptivity. And saying into yourself. Exhale, Tadasana, hands come alongside the body. Inhale, circle sweep hands straight back up and over. Exhale, forward fold, drape it down. And walk the hands forward to your first downward facing dog. 5 fingers open up and feet open up. Hip width distance, bend one knee at a time. Inhale, right heel swings up high to the heavens. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, right heel swims straight up. Exhale, knee out to the left. Left hand comes high for a breath. Drop the left hand. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, gently lunge. Interlace the hands onto the knee, lift the heart. And then hands come high, high lunge. Exhale, lower the hands. Step the left leg forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, micro bend the knees, circle sweep hands up and over. Exhale, crown the head. And start to see into yourself, into me see. Release the hands straight down and sweep them straight up to a chair pose. Wide-legged chair pose if you'd like, or drawing the inner thighs together. Relaxing the shoulders, coming to sit. Draw the belly button up and in towards the spine. Just come to sit deeper into your chair, turn your outer glutes on. Inhale, hands come high, right knee comes with you. One-legged Tadasana. And exhale, cross the right leg right behind the left ankle. Capture the right wrist with the left hand and lean towards the left. Now notice this is the same shape we did kind of when we were on the knees. Release the hands, come back into a chair pose. Hands at heart center, this time come to stand, left knee rises. And glide the left knee or left foot onto the right knee, come to sit. And holding here, this is also what we started with on our back. Figure 4, opening up that hip. Inhale, left leg comes high. Woo. Balance, exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, hands come high. Exhale, forward fold. Step back, high plank. Option to drop the knees or shift forward. Exhale, lower onto the belly. Inhale, cobra, just lifting the chest, keeping the front of the foot grounded. Or option for up dog, lifting the heart, the belly, and the thighs. Find which version feels safe for the back, and then flip the toes. Downward facing dog. Opposite side. We're going to glide that left heel up. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale, left heel straight comes high. Exhale, kickstand it out to the left. Right hand comes high for a breath. Exhale, lower the right hand. Inhale, left heel swims up again. Step it through. Lunge, interlace the hands onto the knee. And slowly lift the chest. This is to help you establish balance. Once you have the balance, hands come high. High lunge, only be here for a moment. Exhale, lower the hands to frame that left foot forward. Fold at the top of your mat. Step the right foot forward. Inhale, hands to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, drop everything down. Head and neck hang. Inhale, micro bend the knees, circle sweep. Hands up and over. Crown the head. And Tadasana. Immediately sweep the hands up. Chair pose, come to sit. Heart lifted. Navel drawn up. Tailbone drawn down. Inhale, this time right foot roots the left hand, left knee comes up. Exhale, cross it behind the right. Right hand captures the left wrist. Find that curtsy as you lean to the right. Exhale, hands come back to heart center and gently step the left foot back. Chair pose with hands at heart center. This time, root the left foot and raise the right. Glide the right foot onto the left knee and come to sit. Continue to hold, waking up the outer right hip this time. Sing into yourself. Inhale, come to stand. Bring that right knee with you, hands come high. Exhale, release the right foot, hands float down. Inhale, both hands come high. Exhale, forward fold. Step back, high plank. Option to drop the knees or shift the toes forward. Lower onto the belly. Inhale, cobra. Option for up dog. Exhale, flip the toes, down dog. 3 rounds of breath here, inhaling for 1. And exhale. Inhale for 2. Exhale out of the mouth, HA. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 3. Inhale, right heel comes high. Exhale, step it through. Full lunge here. Shift the hips forward. Cow lunge for a breath. Exhale, lengthen it out for your cat. One more inhale, cow lunge, shift forward. Exhale, lengthen it out for your cat. Inhale, shift it forward. Interlace the hands onto the right knee. Lift the chest. Then high lunge, hands come high. Continuing to hold here at the high lunge. Keeping the heart lifted here. Exhale, lower the hands to frame that right foot. Drop the left heel, pivot the right toe forward. Wide-legged Prasarita, heels in, toes out. Goddess squat. Hands come high. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Now from here in your goddess, see if you can come high onto the balls of the toes. Sitting deeper into your chair, opening up the knees. And then drop the heels. Once more, inhale, come high on the toes, lift the heels. Exhale, drop the heels, star pose, hands come high. Exhale, forward fold, pivot the toes forward, drop the hands down. Maybe once again adding that personal touch. Halfway lift, lift the chest and the heart. Pivot the left toe, root the right hand, left hand comes high. Getting into the hips. Exhale, take it to the opposite side. Pivot the right toe out to the right, root the left hand comes high. Exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pivot the right toe. Circle sweep the left arm up and around. Warrior 2. Sitting into your warrior 2 here for a breath. Exalt your warrior, left hand back of the thigh, right hand ignites. Exhale, lower the hands down to frame the right foot, pivot onto the ball of the left toe. Shift the weight forward, step it forward. Inhale, hands to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, dropping the head down. Inhale, micro bend the knees. Circle sweep hands up and over. Crown the head. Tadasana. Inhale, chair pose. Weight in the heels, toes are light, come to sit. Exhale, hands come to heart center. And just twist to the right in your chair pose. Right elbow comes on the outside of the left knee. Feel yourself root through your left foot and pluck your right heel up. Just holding here for balance. One more breath. Inhale, balance on the left foot. Rise up, hands come to heart center, right knee comes to the chest. Right foot comes to the left ankle, come to sit again. Getting nice and deep this time. Reaching the hands down towards the earth and making sure they're on the inside of the right foot. Lowering the hands here, continuing to sit deeper, waking up that outer right hip, 2 breaths. Inhale for 1. And exhale. Inhale for 2. Notice how my foot is hooked around my forearm or my bicep here. Exhale, slowly rise, take your time. Drop the right foot to meet its sibling. Circle sweep hands up and over and spill it forward. Rest here for a moment. Continue to see into yourself and acknowledge the need that's coming up here. And if that means you take a moment, for you, because that's you honoring your need. And that is the practice we want to establish, not the asana practice, the practice of meeting our own needs. Step or hop back if you like here, resting where you are. High plank, shift forward, exhale, lower onto the belly. Inhale, cobra. Option for up dog if it feels safe, so you can choose one or the other. Flip the toes, down dog. Opposite side. That left heel's going to come high. Exhale, lunge, step it through. Hold here for a cow lunge, deepening the hips, extending the heart forward. Then exhale, lengthen out the left knee. Half split, getting into the hamstring. Once again, adding personal touch. Inhale, bend the left knee. Find your lunge here. Exhale, lengthen it out. Getting into the hamstring. Inhale, lunge. Interlace the hand onto the top. Front left knee, lift the heart. Hands come high here. High lunge. Continuing to hold for a breath. Exhale, lower the hands down, drop the right heel, cross the Rita, wide-legged forward fold, pivot the toes to the opposite side of the mat and bow. Inhale, heels in, toes out, goddess, hand circle sweep up, and come to heart center. And we're sitting deeper into our goddess. Coming high on the toes, heels rising up. Exhale, drop the heels. Once more. Goddess, come high on the toes, heels rise up. Exhale, goddess, drop the heels. Inhale, come to stand, star pose. Pivot the toes in, exhale, forward fold. Wide-legged, forward fold. This time, Skandasana, pivot the toe, drop the hip, sink into the hip. Keep the hands down. Keep the hands on the inside of the knee as you pivot the right knee. Feel that opening in the hip flexor. Take it to the opposite side. Skandasana. Dropping the hips, hands on the inside of the left knee. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Halfway lift. Lunge by pivoting the left toe to the front of the mat. Back foot is parallel, bend into the left knee. Warrior 2, windmill the right arm up and around. Settle into your warrior 2. Exalt your warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands straight down. To frame the left foot, pivot on the ball of the back right toe and gently step your right foot forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Crown the head. Tadasana, hands come alongside the hips. Straight into your chair pose. Sweep the hands up. Honor your needs here. Take your time. Notice what you feel. And first and foremost, notice what you need. Exhale in your chair pose, hands come to heart center. We're going to twist it to the right and hook our left elbow on the outside of the right knee. I'm going to hold here for a breath. Option to stay right where you are. Start to root the right foot, pluck the left knee high. Holding here for balance, focusing the eye gate on one point. Start to root and ground through the right foot as you come to stand. Bring that left knee back to the chest, hands to heart center, one-legged Tadasana. Figure four on the exhale. Invite your right foot or your left foot onto the right knee and come to sit. Now you can stay right here, or you're going to lower the heart more. Whew. Balance. And you're going to draw your hands forward to the earth. Now I'm going to make sure my foot is hooking on the back of my bicep here. Now the lower I bring my hands, the deeper I'm going to feel this in my left hip. You're holding here a few rounds of breath. Come out whenever you need. One more round of breath here. Inhale, hands to heart center, come to stand. Bring that left knee with you. Exhale. Lower it to the earth. Inhale, circle, sweep hands to the heavens. Exhale, bow it forward. You're stepping back into a high plank, or you're hopping back. Choose your own adventure. Make sure the shoulders are stacked over the wrist. If you're in high plank, shift forward and lower onto your belly. Inhale, cobra, you're lifting your heart, or you're finding up dog. Exhale, flip the toes, down dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale for 1. And exhale. Inhale for 2. And exhale. Inhale for 3. And exhale. Right heel sweeps up. Knee to the nose. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, kickstand that leg out to the left and just slowly float down onto the hip. Now, this is the deep twist. And it's going to be a twist that's pretty deep in the low back. So I want you to just watch me really quickly. Notice that my back left leg, my toes are tucked. That's option 1. If when you do that, you feel very uncomfortable in the low back, completely collapse the heel down, bend the back left knee. And that gives you the space to twist comfortably. Choose those options first. Now from there, you can stay lifted here. Or you can come onto the forearms. Holding 1 more round of breath. Slowly from here with the hands and lift up if you drop onto the forearms. we'll all slowly collapse the back left heel down. And we'll invite our right knee in for pigeon pose. You want your right knee to come right behind your right wrist. From here, you're going to turn your left knee down. So you're in your pigeon pose. Now, if this bothers your right knee at all, pull your right foot closer to the groin. Stay lifted here and see how it feels in the outer right hip. If you're feeling really tight in the hip, take a rolled up towel or blanket and put it underneath your hip here so that you have more support. You can also take your block and slip it underneath the hip. It provides the same support. We're going to stay lifted and we're going to slowly bow. We've been doing a lot of opening up in the hips and the glute today. Acknowledging here and at every single point in this practice, how can you meet your needs and are you meeting your needs? As soon as you notice yourself feeling overwhelmed, there's a need that's going to come from that. Either I'm feeling overwhelmed, I need to rest, or I'm feeling good and your goal or your desire is to continue to progress. Either way, as soon as a need comes to meet you, you want to practice acknowledging it right away and feeling it right away and giving yourself permission to do so, as opposed to abdicating that position and instead trying to get someone else to fill your needs for you. It's our responsibility to fulfill our own needs. And the more we can do so, the more we can begin to exercise self-intimacy, to see into ourselves and give ourselves permission to feel what we need to feel and to acknowledge the need that comes up from that feeling. 2 more breaths. Slowly root the hands. Tuck the back left toe. Left knee is going to rise. And you're going to push the hands into the earth as you lift the hips. Right leg comes high. You just roll it out. Roll out the knee. Find some hip circles. And you can start one direction, then take it the opposite direction. Drop the right foot. Swim the left heel up high. And slowly drop, knee to the nose, kickstand that left leg out, drop the hips. Now the left leg is out at a complete 90-degree angle. Once again, my back right foot is tucked. If this is too uncomfortable a twist for me, I'm going to release my knee. Choose your own adventure here. It's option to stay lifted, or you're going to come onto the forearm. If you're on your forearms, come out by lifting the chest, rooting the hands. Untuck the back foot if it's tucked. Invite your left knee in, right behind your left wrist. Come onto the right knee, and then come into your pigeon variation. Option to position any type of supportive prop underneath the hip if you're feeling tight. Stay lifted for a breath. And then come on down to the forearms. Acknowledging the breath, taking space. Slowly root the hands. Tuck the back right toe. Right knee rises. Three-legged dog, left leg comes high. Some hip circles here. One direction, then the opposite. Let's lower the left foot. Step the right leg forward like a cross. Make sure all the weight is in the right leg, so there's none in the left. Cross the left right behind it. Create an X with the shins. Drop onto the booty and extend the legs forward. Palms face forward and up. And we're going to go back. As soon as the back of the heart kisses the mat, we're going to hug the knees in. Just rock left and right. We'll find a neutralizing bridge pose, just like we started. Feet root the earth. Keep the feet no wider than hip width distance. And begin to lift the hips. This time hands float up and they come straight back. Option to grab opposite elbows. Invite the inner thighs together. One more round of breath. Exhale over the mid-back, low back, and the glutes. Release the hands, float them down. One more bridge pose, and this time you have the opportunity to lift the hands, or you can keep them rooted alongside the body, like we initially did. Root the feet, lift. Either lifting the hands or keeping them alongside the body, or option 3, walk the scapula together and find those robot arms alongside you. Exhale, lower the mid-back, low back, and glutes. Hands release alongside you. Windshield work with the knees, left and right, or right to left. Let's fold them all the way to the left. Find our supine twist. Arms opening wide like a T and completely no holding anything up. So no holding the feet up, let them relax all the way down. If you weren't practicing with me before, you know we always close with a supine to release. Slowly float the knees to center. Take your supine twist to the opposite side. Arms opening wide again. Slowly come back to center. Hug the knees Relax the head, extend the feet to the heavens, hands up, hang out. And Shavasana. Final resting posture, hands float down, feet float down, maybe opening up the knees for a butterfly pose or extending the legs for traditional Shavasana. You can always also close your practice seated if you prefer. Consider, once again, if you experience any level of trauma in closing the eyes causing you to divert away from or out of your body or out of the room, keep the eyes open so you can stay present. Or closing the eyes if it helps you to feel safe. Choosing your own adventure here. Slowly begin to wiggle the toes and fingers. Arriving back into your body, into your space, taking your space. Maybe just adding some personal touch here, caressing the belly, the hips, the womb, arms. Building that external intimacy with self. Come to receive what you feel. And from here, we'll slowly roll to the left or the right side into a fetal position. Making your way up to a seated position of your choice. I invite you to close your practice with whatever hand mudra feels intuitive to you and showcases gratitude for our practice today. Traditionally, palms are drawn together at heart center, a little space in between the palms, thumbs pressing into heart center. We'll each repeat one time. I've done my best. I leave the rest. Namaste. Namaste, family. If this practice felt good for you in your body, make sure to give us a like. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the family. Continue to give yourself permission to see into yourself as you cultivate this self-intimacy. I hope you all have enjoyed this practice, and I'll see you right back here on the mat real soon.